everybody. This is Mary Elizabeth with Sacred Love Tarot, and this is your collective general energy reading for Sunday, August the 13th, 2023. Thank you so very much for turning up and tuning in, for liking, subscribing, commenting, hitting the notification button, and sharing. Everything you do here helps this channel grow, and sharing is caring, so why not, right? So what am I feeling at the moment? You know, what I'm seeing is kind of like rainbows. That's intuitively, that's what I'm seeing. It's kind of like rainbows. And when you look at rainbows, it has every color of the chakra in it: red, orange, green, blue, purple, yellow. And I think for some of us, this month of August, we're really getting into alignment with who we are, learning how to let go of the past, what to let go of from the past, and how to step into a time of receptiveness and awakenedness. And kind of what I'm feeling right now is this sense of being very grounded and connected to Earth, energy, kind of like the Queen of Pentacles, or the Empress, the Ace of Cups, feeling just very connected, receptive, nurturing, patient. So let's see what advice the card gives us for this beautiful Sunday morning. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Let's see, we're using the Crow Tarot. So that was the 10 of Swords, the Emperor, and the 7 of Pentacles. So we talked about just a few minutes ago releasing and letting go, becoming very awakened and receptive and patient and nurturing with oneself. And that 10 of Swords, because it's a 10, it's transitioning out of a time of heartbreak and heartache and deception, loss, insecurity, doubt. And that divine masculine, stable, loyal energy of the Emperor is coming through to kind of help you maneuver out of all of that, what once was heartbreak and chaos. So this is being transformed, right? Becoming more awakened to your thoughts and how you use your thoughts, and recognizing that what you speak about is what you speak about, what you think about, what you speak about is what you get. And if you are trying to change your way of looking at relationships and dealings with others, then transitioning from insecurity, instability, and doubt and fear and judgment into this very stable, loyal, balanced headspace of the Emperor, and especially if it has to do dealings with money, dealings with money or other people, job, partnerships, self-employment. And this could also be a feeling of putting all of your eggs into one basket and not getting what you thought you would get out of it. So like someone comes along and says, hey, I am capable of doing this, this, and this for you, and you put your full, complete trust into them, and it winds up being a situation to where you come out on the bad end of the deal, and the Emperor is here saying, you know, that may be the case, you know, in a relationship or a financial situation or whatever, that may be the case, but it's time to move away from, all of that. It's happened. There's nothing that we can do about it. Now it's time to come back to a place of stability and balance and take care of the business that needs to be taken care of. And you can see that the Seven of Pentacles and the Emperor kind of looking at the Ten of Swords and saying, it's time to step back into the game. It's time to buck up, if you will. It's time to get back in and get back on the horse and try it again. And I know that maybe, you feel like all of your hard work has been for nothing, and you're still here, you're surviving, you're able to change direction, you're able to transition out of this into something else. So it's time to cut your losses and get back out there and start doing what needs to be done, and not being so in your head when it comes to who do I trust, and being in your head of being a victim of all of that. So it's just time to kind of revamp and get grounded again, and be a little patient with yourself, and know that you're worthy, and know that there are people out there that's how they do what they do. That's how they survive, right? They manipulate, they deceive. And so you may have to start over. And starting over is okay, because now you get to start over on your own terms. And you're not on anybody else's playing field. You're on your own. So, and that's a perk. So this is just the talks about the author. One did fall on the floor, so we're going to get that. So, I am worthy of my own love. Write a love note to yourself. What is it that you most need or want to hear? And I think a lot of times that we depend on other people to give us that self-assurance and that that kind of pick-me-up, or that pep talk, right? A lot of the times we want to hear that from somebody else. We want to hear, how worthy we are, or how appreciated we are. But sometimes it's nice to, when I'm on walks in the morning, or when I'm driving in the car, or whatever, I have long conversations with myself. And there has to be this love for self before there can be this love from anyone else. So we have to be very open and receptive to loving ourselves and appreciating ourselves and giving ourselves what we want, need, and desire before we start depending on everybody else. Perhaps maybe you depended on whoever this person was to kind of help you, because that's what they said that they were going to do, and they deceived you. And so this is a lesson learned, right? And we also need to kind of be very, very awakened with our spirit eyes when we get into situations with other people, when our life is on the line, or our money's on the line, or our heart is on the line. We really need to be very patient and allow ourselves to take our time and not be rushed in the decisions that we make. I see myself through the eyes of love. Look in the mirror and say, I love you, and accept myself exactly as I am. Keep saying it until you really feel it. So this is about accepting self as you are, and not depending on other people to fill that gap. Work on filling it yourself. Empowering yourself. It's very important. And these things help. These love notes, this looking into the mirror and saying I love you and accept you just how you are. These are all just things that you can do to empower yourself. And when you empower yourself, you come into times of transitions and transformations, and you get back kind of into some sort of financially stable, independent situation and environment. We talked about loving yourself, and we also talk about seeing the truth. Seeing the truth. We have to, when working with other people, and especially when we talk about our well-being, we have to make sure that we are seeing things through our spirit eyes, and using our intuition, and not just taking people and their word on face value, because that's how we become targets to people who recognize, targets for people who recognize that, you know, their way in the world of making money, or their way in the world of becoming prosperous, is by deceiving other people. And we don't want to be targets of that. Me and a couple of my friends were targets of that from a timeshare company in 2010. You know, they promised us this and they promised us that, and when we got to where we were going, they left us high and dry and alone. And then they tried to manipulate us and used, tried to use heavy-handed tactics when we told them we weren't paying you shit because, you know, you didn't live up to your end of the bargain. And then when my lawyer friend got involved, there, and we had all of the text messages and the emails. We wrote down how many days it was between contact. We were there for 56 days and only heard from the company like 4 times. And they didn't, the places that they promised us, they didn't even, I mean, it was just awful. It was just awful. I can go down this whole rabbit hole of what we didn't get from the company that promised us what we would get. And anyway, when we came back to the States, they tried to justify, and there was no justification for what they did to us, no justification at all. So we had it taken off of our credit reports, and they refund us a lot of money with the promise that we wouldn't sue them. So everything turned out in our favor. But, you know, you have to be aware. I mean, just because someone says I'm here to take care of you doesn't mean that they're here to take care of you. So I hope that helps. Have a great and wonderful day, and know that you're divinely guided and loved. Talk soon. Bye.